The African savanna stretches before us, a breathtaking expanse where the horizon seems to melt into the sky, and every blade of grass is touched by the golden light of dawn or dusk. This is a world sculpted by time and the relentless forces of nature, where beauty and adversity are woven together in a tapestry of life. The land rolls out in every direction, a seemingly endless sea of grass and scattered trees, its vastness broken only by the occasional rise of a termite mound or the gentle undulation of distant hills. The sky above is immense, painted with shifting clouds and the ever-changing hues of the African sun. As the sun climbs higher, the savanna transforms beneath its fierce gaze. The air shimmers with heat, distorting the landscape in waves, while the grasses, once vibrant with morning dew, fade to a brittle gold, whispering in the hot wind. Scattered across this open plain, the acacia trees stand resolute, their flat-topped canopies casting islands of shade on the sun-baked earth. Each tree is a lifeline, sheltering countless creatures from the relentless midday glare, their branches alive with the quiet movements of birds and insects. The savanna is a land of stark contrasts, its character defined by the eternal cycle of wet and dry. In the dry season, the earth cracks and hardens, the grasses wither, and the air fills with dust. Yet with the arrival of the rains, the transformation is nothing short of miraculous. Dark clouds gather and break open, drenching the land in life-giving water. Parched waterholes swell and overflow, and the plains erupt in a surge of green. Herds of wildebeest and zebra converge on the fresh pastures, their numbers swelling as far as the eye can see, each animal drawn by the promise of abundance. But when the rains retreat, hardship returns. Waterholes shrink to muddy puddles, and the grasses turn brittle and brown. Dust clouds rise with every hoofbeat, and animals must travel great distances in search of the last remaining sources of water, their survival hanging in the balance. As the sun dips below the horizon, the savanna is transformed once more. Shadows lengthen and merge, and the air cools. Nightfall brings a new cast of characters, nocturnal hunters and wary prey, each adapted to the darkness in their own remarkable ways. Here, every night is a stage for the ancient contest between predator and prey. Hyenas move with silent purpose, their senses attuned to the faintest sound or scent, while zebras stand alert, muscles tensed, every sense straining for the first sign of danger. The savanna teems with life. Great herds of zebra, wildebeest, and gazelle flow across the plains in a living river, each individual playing a vital role in the ecosystem. Their movements shape the land, their migrations timed to the rhythm of the seasons. The air vibrates with the hum of insects, a constant chorus that underpins the savanna's soundtrack. The ground shakes beneath the thunder of migrating hooves, and as dusk falls, the distant roar of a lion echoes across the plains, a reminder of the ever-present threat that stalks the night. Every creature here is a master of survival. Some blend seamlessly into the landscape, their colors and patterns rendering them nearly invisible. Others rely on vigilance, speed, or cunning, each adaptation honed by countless generations in this unforgiving environment. The savanna is governed by laws older than memory, laws of competition, cooperation, and balance. Here, the strong and the swift thrive, but even the smallest and most vulnerable have their place in the intricate web of life. Among the most iconic inhabitants of this realm are the zebra and the spotted hyena, two species whose lives are inextricably linked by the demands of survival. At first glance, they could not be more different. The zebra, with its bold stripes and calm demeanor, epitomizes the grace and tranquility of the grazing herds. The hyena, with its powerful build and intense gaze, is the embodiment of predatory intelligence and adaptability. Zebras move in tightly knit groups, their striking patterns blending together to confuse would-be attackers. They graze methodically, ever watchful, their ears flicking at the slightest sound, their nostrils flaring to catch the scent of danger on the wind. The spotted hyena, often misunderstood and unfairly cast as a scavenger, is in truth a formidable hunter. Under the cover of darkness, hyenas move with purpose, their senses sharp, their social bonds strong. They communicate with eerie whoops and cackles, coordinating their movements with remarkable precision. The destinies of these two species are bound together in a perpetual contest of wits and endurance. Each encounter is a test, a moment where the outcome is never certain, and the stakes are nothing less than life itself. When danger strikes, zebras rely on their speed and the safety of the herd, surging forward in a blur of stripes. Hyenas, relentless and strategic, work together, anticipating their quarry's every move, exploiting any weakness with unyielding persistence. The savannah bears witness to countless confrontations, moments of breathtaking tension where predator and prey lock eyes, each measuring the other, each fighting for survival in a world that offers no second chances. To truly understand this epic struggle, we must venture into the heart of the African night, where moonlight casts long shadows and every sound carries the promise of danger or opportunity. We will explore the remarkable defenses of the zebra, its powerful kick, its unbreakable social bonds, and its ever-watchful vigilance, all of which are vital in the face of such a determined adversary. We will also delve into the complex society of the hyena clan, where cooperation, communication, and strategy are the keys to success, and where every member plays a role in the hunt. This is not a tale of heroes and villains, but a story of survival of two extraordinary species, each following its own path through the ever-changing landscape of the African savannah. It is a drama that has unfolded for millennia and will continue as long as the sun rises over these ancient plains. The zebra, with its striking appearance and remarkable adaptations, stands as one of the most iconic creatures of the African wilderness. Its presence is woven into the very fabric of the savannah, a living testament to the power of evolution and survival. Each zebra's coat is a masterpiece of nature. No two patterns are ever exactly alike. The bold, alternating black and white stripes are not merely for show. They serve as a complex form of camouflage, a dazzling display that has intrigued biologists and artists alike for generations. When zebras gather in herds, their stripes merge into a mesmerizing tapestry. This visual confusion is a sophisticated defense, making it nearly impossible for a predator's eyes to focus on a single animal amid the shifting patterns. As the herd moves, the stripes ripple and blend, creating a living optical illusion. This phenomenon, known as motion dazzle, disrupts a predator's depth perception and ability to judge distance, buying the zebra's precious seconds in a life-or-death chase. For a predator lurking in the tall grass, the challenge is immense. The shifting sea of stripes makes it nearly impossible to isolate a single target, forcing the hunter to hesitate, recalculate, and often lose its advantage. From the predator's perspective, the herd becomes a blur of movement and pattern, the outlines of individual zebras dissolving into the collective. This confusion can mean the difference between a successful hunt and a failed attempt. This collective defense is the zebra's first and most ingenious shield against the dangers of the savannah, a strategy honed over millennia. Yet the zebra's survival is not based on illusion alone. Beneath its striking coat lies a body engineered for flight, muscles coiled with energy, always ready to spring into action at the slightest hint of danger. In a burst of speed, a zebra can accelerate to 65 kilometers per hour, its hooves pounding the earth in a blur of motion. This explosive power is matched by remarkable endurance, allowing the zebra to maintain a punishing pace over long distances. Its legs, long and sinewy, are built for relentless running. Tendons and muscles work in perfect harmony, propelling the animal across the open plains with both grace and urgency. This combination of speed and stamina is a lifeline. When a predator gives chase, the zebra's ability to maintain its velocity can be the deciding factor between escape and capture. A robust adult zebra at the peak of its strength is a formidable quarry. Its capacity to lead the herd and outpace even the most determined pursuers is a testament to its physical prowess. The vast open savanna is both a stage and a battleground. Here, speed is not just an advantage, it is the very essence of freedom and survival. But the zebra is not merely a creature of flight. When escape is not an option, it can transform into a fierce defender, standing its ground with unwavering resolve. In moments of confrontation, the zebra displays a surprising ferocity. It will rear up, bare its teeth, and position itself to unleash its most powerful weapon. The zebra's hind legs are capable of delivering a kick of astonishing force. This is not a random thrash, but a precise, calculated strike aimed at any threat that dares to come too close. A single, well-placed kick can shatter bone, break a predator's jaw, or cripple a limb. The impact is so severe that even the most seasoned hunters approach with the utmost caution. For a predator like the hyena, a serious injury from a zebra's kick can spell disaster. A broken limb or jaw means starvation, as the wounded hunter can no longer compete for food or defend itself. This reputation for powerful defense ensures that predators approach zebras with a mix of respect and wariness, always calculating the risk of a crippling blow. Beyond their physical abilities, zebras are deeply social animals. Their lives are structured around complex social bonds, with each member of the herd playing a vital role in the group's survival. Constant vigilance is their way of life. With ears swiveling and eyes scanning the horizon, zebras are always on alert, their senses finely tuned to the subtlest changes in their environment. Communication is key. Through a rich language of vocalizations, body postures, and subtle gestures, zebras share information about threats, coordinate movements, and reinforce social bonds. This constant exchange of information ensures that the herd moves as one, reacting instantly to danger and maximizing their collective chances of survival. In the unforgiving world of the savannah, the zebra's survival depends on a delicate balance of speed, strength, intelligence, and social cooperation. It is not just a creature of beauty, but a master of adaptation, a true survivor, ever watchful, ever ready. On the vast, sun-drenched plains of the savannah, a solitary zebra stands exposed, its striped coat a bold contrast against the golden grass. Alone, it is acutely aware of every rustle in the wind, every shadow that flickers across the horizon. In this moment, vulnerability is its constant companion. Yet, when zebras gather, their transformation is remarkable. A herd is not merely a collection of animals, but a living, breathing fortress, each individual a vital brick in its walls. The true strength of the zebra lies in unity. Side by side, their bodies overlap, stripes merging into a mesmerizing pattern that confuses the eye and baffles would-be predators. At the heart of this unity are tightly knit family groups known as harems. Each harem is led by a dominant stallion, accompanied by several mares and their young foals. These bonds are forged through daily life, grazing, traveling, and facing danger together. Often, multiple harems converge, forming immense herds that stretch across the savannah like a living river of stripes. In the peak of migration, these gatherings can number in the thousands, a spectacle of movement and sound. This instinct to congregate is not random. It is a sophisticated survival strategy, honed by generations of facing relentless predators. Within the herd, vigilance is a shared responsibility. Dozens of eyes scan the horizon, ears swivel to catch the faintest sound, and nostrils test the breeze for the scent of danger. Every ear twitches at the snap of a twig. Every muscle tenses at the possibility of a lurking threat. Sensitive nostrils flare, drawing in the scents of the wind, searching for the telltale musk of a stalking predator. This network of constant surveillance makes it nearly impossible for a predator to approach undetected. The herd is a living alarm system, each member a sentinel for the others. When danger is spotted, a zebra emits a piercing, high-pitched bray, a sound that slices through the air and instantly puts the entire herd on alert. Grazing ceases in an instant. Heads snap up, bodies stiffen, and the atmosphere shifts from calm to electric anticipation. Every zebra turns, eyes locking onto the source of the alarm, muscles coiled and ready for action. This rapid, synchronized response buys the herd precious seconds, time to assess the threat, to decide whether to stand their ground or flee. The herd shifts, bodies pressing closer together, forming a dense barrier of stripes and muscle. For a hyena lurking in the tall grass, the advantage of stealth is lost. The zebra herd, now fully alert, presents a daunting challenge. No easy meal here. When a predator finally makes its move, chaos does not erupt. Instead, the herd responds with calculated precision. The lead stallion steps forward, his body a shield between danger and his family. He stands tall, ears pinned back, ready to defend at all costs. With a sudden burst of energy, he may charge, teeth bared and nostrils flaring, unleashing a volley of snorts and kicks to drive the predator back. The rest of the herd compresses into a tight formation, their stripes blending into a dizzying wall that confounds the predator's focus. Vulnerable foals are swiftly ushered to the center, surrounded by a living barricade of adult bodies, each zebra instinctively knowing its place in the defensive ring. This is not chaos, but choreography, a deliberate, coordinated maneuver perfected by countless generations. The bonds that hold the herd together are visible in moments of calm, too. Gentle nuzzles, mutual grooming, and the quiet reassurance of close company. Every movement is coordinated, every decision made as a collective. The herd is a society built on trust, cooperation, and shared responsibility. Each zebra is both guardian and protected, watching over its companions as it is watched over in return. This instinct to unite, to warn, and to defend the vulnerable is the herd's greatest weapon, a living testament to the power of social bonds in the wild. In the endless struggle for survival, the zebra's greatest shield is not its speed or its stripes, but the unbreakable unity of the herd, a force that turns the open savannah into a stronghold and ensures that, even in a world of predators, there is strength in numbers. For centuries, the spotted hyena has been misunderstood and misrepresented, often cast as the villain of the African plains, a skulking scavenger lurking in the shadows, waiting to snatch scraps from the tables of more celebrated predators. The image of the hyena as a mere opportunist, surviving only on the leftovers of lions and leopards, is deeply ingrained in popular imagination. Yet this reputation is not only misleading, but it also fails to capture the true essence of this remarkable animal. In reality, the spotted hyena is one of Africa's most formidable and intelligent predators, boasting a level of social complexity and hunting prowess that rivals and often surpasses that of its competitors. Far from being relegated to scavenging, hyenas are highly skilled hunters, responsible for catching and killing up to 80% of the food they consume. Their hunts are meticulously coordinated, often involving entire clans working together to outmaneuver and exhaust their prey. As dusk falls and the savannah is bathed in the cool glow of twilight, hyenas emerge from their dens, their movements synchronized and purposeful. Night is their domain, and under the cover of darkness, their true capabilities are revealed. Among the hyena's most extraordinary adaptations is its jaw, an anatomical marvel forged by evolution for both power and precision. The hyena's jaws are among the strongest in the animal kingdom, capable of generating a bite force exceeding 1,100 pounds per square inch. This immense power allows them to shatter the thickest bones of their prey, accessing the rich marrow within, a resource few other predators can exploit. With these formidable jaws, hyenas leave almost nothing behind. They consume skin, bones, hooves, and even horns, ensuring that every part of a carcass is utilized. This efficiency is vital in the harsh, competitive world of the savannah. During a hunt, these jaws become lethal weapons. A single bite can cripple prey, severing tendons or crushing vital bones, and the relentless pressure of a clan's attack can bring down animals many times their size. When a hyena clan targets a large animal, their strategy is both brutal and effective. They encircle their quarry, harrying it from all sides, each member taking turns to bite and weaken the prey until it collapses from exhaustion and injury. Even the most imposing animals, buffalo, zebra, and wildebeest, are not immune to the hyena's relentless assault. Their collective strength and unyielding determination make them a force that commands respect across the savannah, but the hyena's arsenal extends far beyond brute strength. Their senses are exquisitely tuned to the demands of nocturnal hunting. Their sense of smell is nothing short of extraordinary. A hyena can detect the faintest scent of blood or decay from several kilometers away, allowing them to locate both fresh kills and hidden carcasses with astonishing accuracy. Their hearing is equally acute. Large, rounded ears can swivel independently, capturing the subtlest sounds, the rustle of grass, the distant alarm call of prey, or the low-frequency rumble of hooves in the night. Their vision, adapted for low light, allows them to see clearly under the faintest moonlight. The reflective layer behind their retinas gives their eyes a ghostly glow and enables them to spot movement across vast distances, even in near-total darkness. These senses work in perfect harmony, painting a vivid, three-dimensional map of the world around them. Every scent, sound, and shadow is a clue, guiding the hyena as it stalks its next meal through the tall grasses and open plains. Yet the true genius of the hyena lies not just in its physical prowess, but in its remarkable intelligence and intricate social structure. Spotted hyenas live in large matriarchal clans, complex societies ruled by dominant females. These clans can range from a handful of individuals to more than 80, each member playing a distinct role within the group. Within the clan, a strict hierarchy governs every interaction. Dominance is established and maintained through subtle gestures, postures, and displays, while alliances and rivalries shape the social landscape. Communication is constant and sophisticated. Hyenas employ a rich repertoire of vocalizations, whoops that echo across the plains, cackles and giggles that signal excitement or submission, and low grunts that maintain cohesion during hunts. It is this extraordinary social intelligence, the ability to cooperate, strategize, and adapt as a unified force, that elevates the hyena from a solitary hunter to one of the most effective and respected predators in all of Africa. Every hunt, every interaction, is a testament to their evolutionary success and the intricate tapestry of life on the savannah. As the last golden rays of sunlight slip beneath the horizon, a subtle transformation sweeps across the vast African savannah. The air, once heavy with the heat of day, now cools and carries the faint rustle of grass and distant calls of nocturnal life. In this shifting twilight, the hyena clan awakens, their silhouettes emerging from the shadowy mouth of their communal den. The clan members rise, stretching their powerful limbs and shaking off the lethargy of daylight hours. Their movements are deliberate, each animal alert and attuned to the subtle cues of the coming night. During the relentless heat of the day, these predators seek refuge in the cool shade or within the safety of their den, conserving energy and maintaining social bonds through quiet interactions and grooming. But as darkness deepens, the savannah becomes their domain. The hyenas slip into the night, their senses sharpening, their bodies primed for action. Under the pale glow of the moon, the clan moves with renewed vigor. Their gait is confident, their heads held low, ears swiveling to catch every sound, noses twitching to sample the scents carried on the breeze. In these hours, they are at their most formidable, alert, coordinated, and brimming with a quiet intensity that signals the hunt is near. The hyena's physique is a marvel of endurance engineering. Muscular forequarters, sloping backs, and robust necks allow them to maintain a relentless pace over long distances, their stride efficient and tireless. Unlike sprinters, hyenas are built for the marathon. They can cover vast stretches of grassland, weaving through tall grass and uneven terrain, their stamina outlasting nearly any prey. This remarkable endurance is the cornerstone of their hunting strategy. allowing them to pursue targets until exhaustion tips the balance in their favor. When a chase begins, the zebra may bolt with explosive speed, hooves thundering across the plain, but the hyenas do not need to match this initial burst. Instead, they rely on their ability to keep running, mile after mile, as the zebra's strength wanes and its pace falters. The hunt is a symphony of strategy and cooperation. Each member of the clan knows its role, moving in concert with the others, communicating through subtle body language and vocalizations. There's little chaos here, only the disciplined choreography of experienced hunters, each action purposeful and precise. Before the hunt, the clan gathers for a ritual greeting. They touch noses, vocalize softly, and reaffirm the social bonds that hold the group together, ensuring unity and focus. These interactions are more than mere ceremony. They are vital communications signaling readiness and intent to every member. As the hunt begins, the clan fans out, each hyena taking up a position that maximizes their collective field of vision and scent detection. Their acute senses are on high alert, ears pricked for the faintest rustle, eyes scanning the darkness, nostrils flaring to catch the scent of potential prey. Every movement is measured and silent, the clan gliding through the night with a stealth that belies their size. Their eyes, adapted for low light, gleam with determination, each animal's mind fixed on the singular objective of the hunt. Brute force alone is not their method. Instead, they employ a blend of caution, intelligence, and patience, stalking their quarry with calculated precision. The clan may pause for long stretches, waiting, watching, and planning, their patience as sharp as their teeth. They know that a reckless charge at a robust, tightly knit zebra herd is futile and dangerous, risking injury that could spell disaster for the clan. Even a single misstep can lead to wounds that linger, so caution is woven into every decision. The clan's strategy hinges on observation. They study the herd, noting every movement, every sign of weakness, every subtle shift in the group's formation. Rather than rushing in, they linger at the periphery, their presence a constant, silent pressure on the zebras. Sometimes they will wait for hours, even through the deep hours of the night, their patience unwavering as they monitor the herd's every move. This extended surveillance allows them to identify patterns, vulnerabilities, and the perfect moment to act. They are searching for a single opportunity, a young foal lagging behind, an elder struggling to keep pace, or a zebra momentarily separated from the group. The ideal target is one whose weakness is clear, whose isolation makes it vulnerable to the clan's relentless pursuit. A foal, its legs still unsteady, may fall behind the adults, its inexperience a beacon to the watchful hyenas. An aging or ailing zebra, unable to match the herd's pace, becomes an obvious target, its fatigue evident in every step. Or perhaps a healthy adult, momentarily distracted or separated, finds itself alone and exposed. By focusing their efforts on these individuals, the clan dramatically increases the likelihood of a successful hunt, minimizing risk and maximizing reward. Patience is the hyena's greatest weapon. They are masters of restraint, willing to wait for the precise moment when the odds tip in their favor. When that moment arrives, the clan is ready, muscles coiled, senses locked onto the target, every member poised for action. They may follow a herd for kilometers, shadowing its movements, testing its defenses, and waiting for fatigue or error to create an opening. When a zebra stumbles, hesitates, or strays from the group, the hyenas react instantly, seizing the fleeting opportunity with coordinated precision. The constant probing presence of the clan sows anxiety within the herd, causing stress that can lead to mistakes and confusion. When the herd finally breaks, scattering in panic, the hyenas surge forward, exploiting the chaos to isolate and bring down their chosen prey. It is this seamless blend of endurance, teamwork, tactical intelligence, and unwavering patience that elevates the hyena clan to the pinnacle of nocturnal predators. Led by dominant individuals and united by complex social bonds, the clan celebrates each victory, their success a testament to their remarkable adaptation and cooperation. As the full moon casts their shadows across the open plains, the hyena clan moves with the confidence of true masters of the African night, their legacy written in every successful hunt beneath the stars. In the vast expanse of the African savannah, the hunt does not begin with a sudden rush, but with a slow, deliberate unfolding beneath a velvet sky. The stars shimmer above, casting a faint silvery glow over the endless grasslands, where every blade seems to hold its breath in anticipation. A sprawling herd of zebras lies scattered across the open plain, their bodies pressed close together for warmth and safety. The moonlight washes over their striped coats, turning them into a living mosaic of black and white, each animal nearly indistinguishable from the next in the dimness. The air is thick with the scent of dry grass and earth, utterly still, as if the entire landscape is suspended in a moment of perfect calm. Not a single leaf stirs, and the only sound is the distant rhythmic chorus of insects hidden in the undergrowth. Most of the zebras are dozing, their bodies relaxed, but a few remain upright, their silhouettes outlined against the faint glow of the horizon. Their ears flick and swivel, constantly scanning for the faintest hint of danger, their nostrils flaring as they test the air for unfamiliar scents. Nestled within the protective ring of adults stands a young foal, its legs still slightly unsteady, its coat a softer, fuzzier version of the adult's, bold stripes. The foal's wide eyes reflect the moonlight, filled with innocence and curiosity. The foal presses close to its mother's flank, seeking both warmth and reassurance. The mother, ever vigilant, lowers her head to nuzzle her offspring, her breath visible in the cool night air. Beyond the circle of resting zebras, the darkness thickens. In these shadows, unseen eyes watch with unwavering focus. The peace of the night is an illusion, for danger is always present, lurking just out of sight. A formidable clan of spotted hyenas, numbering around 15, emerges from the gloom. Their bodies are low to the ground, moving in near silence, each step calculated and precise. The hyena's paws press softly into the dry earth, barely disturbing the brittle grass. Their movements are synchronized, a silent ballet of predators honed by countless nights of hunting. At the front of the group moves the matriarch, a powerful female whose size and scars mark her as a veteran of many hunts. Her posture is confident, her senses razor-sharp, every muscle attuned to the task ahead. The clan weaves through the tall grass, using every dip and rise in the land for cover. The moonlight glints off their mottled coats as they advance, their noses lifted to catch the faintest trace of zebra on the breeze. Without a sound, the hyenas communicate through subtle glances and body language. Each member knows its place, the roles ingrained through years of practice and instinct. Gradually the clan fans out, forming a loose semicircle. This living net is designed to corral and isolate their chosen prey, every individual moving with a singular, shared intent. They halt at the edge of a shallow ditch, the earth cool and damp beneath their paws. From this vantage they can observe the herd without exposing themselves, their bodies pressed low against the ground. The hyena's eyes, adapted for the darkness, pick out every detail of the herd. They watch for patterns, for weaknesses, for any sign of vulnerability among the zebras. Their gaze is intense, analytical. Each movement within the herd is noted and assessed, every potential target weighed against the risks and rewards of the hunt. The dominant stallion, his muscles rippling beneath his striped hide, is quickly dismissed as too dangerous. The strong, healthy mares are also passed over, their size and vigilance making them poor choices for an ambush. Instead, the hyena's attention narrows to the smaller, more vulnerable shapes within the herd. They search for any sign of weakness, a limp, a lagging step, or a momentary separation from the group. The young foal, standing close to its mother but occasionally drifting toward the edge of the group, becomes the focus of their predatory gaze. Its inexperience and size make it the ideal target. The foal's position, just a few steps removed from the densest part of the herd, is a critical vulnerability. The hyenas note this detail instantly, their collective experience telling them that this is the opportunity they have been waiting for. The entire clan's focus sharpens, their bodies tensing in anticipation. The foal is now the center of their strategy, the weak link in the otherwise formidable chain of zebra defense. With a barely perceptible gesture, a slight dip of her head, a flick of her tail, the matriarch signals her clan. The plan, refined by countless hunts, is set into motion without a single sound. The hyenas begin to spread even wider, their formation shifting to encircle the section of the herd where the foal lingers. Each member moves with deliberate care, their bodies melting into the shadows. Their coordination is uncanny, the result of years of social learning and instinct. They move as one, a seamless unit, each individual attuned to the slightest movement of the others. The atmosphere is electric with tension. Every creature on the plain, from the smallest insect to the largest zebra, seems to sense the impending eruption of violence, though only the hyenas know the precise moment it will begin. The zebras, for now, remain blissfully unaware. Their breathing is slow and steady, their bodies relaxed, even as the circle of danger tightens invisibly around them. The hyenas are masters of patience, willing to wait as long as it takes for the perfect opportunity. In the tall grass, the hyenas crouch, every muscle coiled and ready. The moment of action is near. A single heartbeat will separate the silent stalk from the explosive chaos of the chase that is about to begin. Under the pale glow of the moon, the savannah lies cloaked in a deceptive calm. The air is thick with anticipation, every blade of grass motionless, every shadow stretched long and thin across the open plain. Suddenly this fragile stillness is shattered. From the edge of a thicket, a hyena on the outer flank bursts forth, its mottled coat blending with the darkness. It surges forward, muscles rippling beneath its skin, and releases a piercing whoop that slices through the silence, a signal both to its clan and a warning to its prey. Instantly, the zebra herd is electrified, heads snap up, ears flicking in every direction, nostrils flaring as the scent of danger fills the air. The ground vibrates with the first frantic movements. In a heartbeat, the entire herd erupts into motion. Their bodies, once at rest, now surge forward in a wave of black and white, hooves tearing at the earth, eyes wide with terror as they flee into the uncertain night. The air is filled with the shrill, urgent calls of zebras, each voice adding to the cacophony. The herd becomes a living storm, stripes blurring, dust swirling, the thunder of hooves echoing across the plain. This is the chaos the hyenas have engineered. Their eyes gleam in the moonlight, calculating and cold as they watch the herd fragment and scatter. Amid the confusion, a young foal, barely old enough to keep pace, is swept away from its mother. Its small frame is lost in the swirling mass, and for a moment it stands alone, bewildered and vulnerable. The hyena clan's attention narrows instantly, their bodies tense, eyes fixed on the isolated foal. The hunt has found its target. The main herd surges deeper into the darkness, stripes melting into the night. The foal, legs pumping desperately, tries to follow, but its strides are shorter, its breath already coming in sharp, frightened bursts. Every muscle in the foal's body strains as it sprints, heart pounding so loudly it seems to fill the night. Its eyes are wide, nostrils flared, each step a desperate bid for survival. Behind it, the hyenas move as one, shoulders low, legs moving in a tireless, ground-eating lope. Their formation is tight, their focus absolute. They do not waste energy on a reckless sprint. Instead, they settle into a relentless, measured pace, perfectly adapted for endurance. Their breathing is steady, their movements efficient, designed to outlast rather than outrun. The strategy is clear. Exhaust the foal, sap its strength with every passing moment, until resistance is impossible and escape is a fading hope. Suddenly, the foal's mother, her instincts sharpened by fear, wheels around. Her eyes lock onto her offspring, and she charges back, defiant and determined. She races to her foal's side, positioning her body between the predators and her young. Her movements are protective, guiding the foal, urging it back toward the safety of the herd. With a sudden burst of power, she lashes out with her hind legs, hooves slicing through the air. A hyena darts in, but narrowly avoids the crushing blow, its reflexes honed by countless hunts. But the hyena clan is formidable, numerous, disciplined, and perfectly coordinated. They fan out, encircling their quarry with practiced precision. Several hyenas peel away, harassing the mother, snapping at her legs and flanks. Their tactics are ruthless, forcing her to defend herself and drawing her away from the foal she so desperately tries to protect. The chase stretches across the endless savannah, the moon casting long shadows over the desperate race. The foal's stamina is pitted against the inexhaustible endurance of the hyenas. Gradually the foal's speed falters. Its legs, once nimble, now move sluggishly, each stride shorter than the last. Its breath comes in ragged gasps, sides heaving, foam flecking its lips. The foal stumbles, nearly falling, its reserves of energy all but spent. The hyenas sense the shift immediately. Their ears prick forward, eyes narrowing as they close the distance, emboldened by the foal's growing weakness. Their calls rise in pitch and frequency, a chorus of anticipation that fills the night, signaling the hunt's climax. The hyenas fan out, forming a living barrier around the exhausted foal. Their shadows flicker across the ground, relentless and inescapable. The vast openness of the savannah, once a sanctuary for the swift, now becomes a merciless prison. There is no shelter, no tall grass to hide in, only the cold, indifferent expanse and the ever-approaching threat. At last, the foal's legs buckle. It collapses onto the hard earth, chest heaving, eyes wide with exhaustion and fear. The hyenas close in, their patience rewarded, as the long, grueling test of endurance draws to its inevitable heart-wrenching end. The young zebra foal stands alone on the vast golden savannah, its flanks heaving with each labored breath. Dust clings to its sweat-dampened coat, and its legs tremble from the relentless chase. Yet, even as fatigue threatens to pull it to the ground, the primal urge to survive pulses through every fiber of its being. The foal's eyes, wide and alert, scan the horizon. It plants its hooves firmly in the earth, refusing to surrender to despair. Instinct and willpower combine, forging a moment of resolve in the face of overwhelming odds. Suddenly the foal halts its desperate flight. With a burst of courage, it pivots to confront the advancing hyenas. Its nostrils flare and its ears pin back, signaling a readiness to defend itself no matter the cost. Lowering its head, the foal bares its small but sharp teeth, mimicking the defensive posture of a seasoned stallion. The gesture is both instinctive and symbolic, a declaration that it will not be taken without a fight. Though its body quivers with exhaustion, the foal's stance is defiant. This is a moment of raw bravery, a desperate stand against the encroaching threat. One of the younger hyenas, emboldened by inexperience, breaks from the pack and charges. The foal reacts with a swift, unexpected kick from its front legs, hooves slicing through the air with surprising speed. The hyena recoils, startled by the foal's sudden aggression. A sharp yelp pierces the air as it leaps backward, momentarily thrown off by the prey's audacity. For a fleeting moment, a tense standoff ensues. The foal stands its ground, and the hyenas hesitate, reassessing their approach. In this brief pause, the foal gains a few precious seconds, time that could mean the difference between life and death. But the savannah is a stage for strategy as much as strength. The hyena clan, seasoned by countless hunts, begins to coordinate with silent precision. Each member knows its role, moving in a fluid, practiced formation. One hyena advances from the front, snapping and feinting to draw the foal's attention. Meanwhile, a more experienced hunter circles wide, its paws barely making a sound as it slips into position behind the distracted zebra. This is the essence of hyena strategy, a classic pincer movement designed to split the prey's focus and exploit its natural blind spots. Each predator moves with calculated intent, their teamwork honed by necessity and survival. The foal now finds itself encircled, the grass whispering beneath the paws and hooves of hunter and hunted alike. It is trapped in a tightening ring of danger, every escape route blocked by cunning predators. Its head darts back and forth, eyes wide with fear and calculation. The foal cannot defend both its front and rear, forced to make a split-second decision that could seal its fate. As the foal focuses on the threat before it, the hyena behind seizes the opportunity. With a sudden, explosive lunge, it clamps powerful jaws around the foal's hind leg, teeth sinking deep into flesh and muscle. Agonizing pain shoots through the foal's body. Its leg buckles, and it stumbles, struggling to remain upright as blood stains the dry grass beneath its hooves. The hyena, its muzzle now streaked with crimson, signals the first decisive blow. The balance of the hunt has shifted irreversibly in favor of the predators. The foal, wounded and limping, attempts to flee once more. Each step is a struggle, its movements growing weaker as pain and blood loss sap its strength. Driven by the last reserves of adrenaline, it pushes forward, but its gait is uneven, and its speed is a shadow of what it once was. Sensing the prey's vulnerability, the rest of the hyena clan surges forward. Their formation tightens, encircling the foal with relentless efficiency. No longer content to chase, the hyenas launch a coordinated assault. Their bodies move as one, each member targeting a specific point on the foal. Powerful jaws clamp down on the foal's flanks and shoulders, the force of their bites designed to immobilize and subdue. Some hyenas seize the foal's legs, pulling it off balance, while others attack its vulnerable sides and hindquarters. The clan's teamwork is seamless, each predator playing its part in the takedown. The foal's resistance, so fierce only moments before, is swiftly overwhelmed. The sheer number and strength of the hyenas leave no room for escape or reprieve. The struggle ends as quickly as it began, the savannah bearing silent witness to the drama. With a final, collective effort, the hyenas drag the foal to the ground. Dust rises in the fading light as the predators secure their hard-won prize. As dusk settles over the grasslands, the line between life and death is drawn with stark clarity. Tonight, the hyena clan emerges victorious, their strategy and persistence rewarded. The entire clan gathers to feed, from the dominant matriarch to the youngest pups. Their patience and cooperation have secured a meal that will nourish every member, ensuring the survival of the next generation. In the distance, the zebra herd stands in somber silence, their heads lowered in quiet acknowledgement of the loss. For them, it is a moment of grief, but for the ecosystem, it is a necessary exchange. The cycle of life continues, the energy once stored in the sun-kissed grass, consumed by the zebra, now sustains the hyena clan. In this intricate web, every life and every loss plays a vital role, ensuring that the savannah endures, wild and eternal. Beneath the vast starlit sky of the African savannah, the confrontation between the hyena and the zebra unfolds as a profound testament to the intricate web of life that governs this untamed land. What may appear as a fleeting clash in the darkness is, in reality, a vital thread woven into the fabric of the ecosystem, a moment that echoes the relentless rhythm of survival, adaptation, and renewal. Every blade of grass, every cautious step, and every calculated movement is part of a delicate equilibrium. The savannah is a living mosaic, where each species, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, plays a role in maintaining the balance that allows life to flourish. The story of the hyena and the zebra is not one of simple antagonism, but of two evolutionary forces locked in a perpetual dance. Over millions of years, their destinies have become intertwined, each species shaping the other's behavior, physiology, and very existence. The zebra's iconic stripes, a marvel of natural engineering, break up its outline in the tall grasses, rendering it nearly invisible to the untrained eye. This camouflage is not mere decoration, it is a shield honed by generations of relentless pursuit. When danger approaches, zebras respond with astonishing coordination. They form tight defensive circles, their bodies pressed together, hooves ready to strike, and eyes scanning for the faintest sign of movement. Their survival depends on this unity, a living fortress against the ever-present threat of predators. The hyena, in turn, is a creature of remarkable intelligence and social complexity. Within the clan, intricate hierarchies and alliances are forged, each member playing a specific role in the hunt and in the survival of the group. Their stamina is legendary. A hyena can pursue its quarry for miles, undeterred by exhaustion or setbacks, its senses finely attuned to the subtlest cues of weakness or opportunity. In this ancient contest, every chase, every escape, and every confrontation is a lesson in adaptation. The savannah itself becomes a classroom where only those who learn and evolve can hope to survive. The zebra's greatest strength lies in its community. Each individual is vigilant, but it is the collective awareness of the herd that offers true protection. They communicate through subtle gestures and vocalizations, warning each other of danger and coordinating their movements with astonishing precision. Grazing in close formation, the herd becomes a single, unified entity, an ever-shifting wall of bodies that confounds and frustrates would-be attackers. Sentinels stand watch, their ears flicking at the slightest sound, their eyes constantly scanning the horizon. This vigilance is a shared responsibility, a silent pact that binds the group together. When a threat emerges, the herd does not scatter in panic. Instead, they stand shoulder to shoulder, presenting a united front that can deter even the most determined predator. In these moments, the strength of the group is palpable, a living testament to the power of unity in the face of adversity. The hyena, meanwhile, relies on its keen intellect and adaptability. Each hunt is a test of strategy, requiring patience, observation, and the ability to exploit even the smallest advantage. Hyenas communicate through a complex language of vocalizations, body postures, and scent markings, coordinating their actions with remarkable efficiency. They study their prey, anticipate its movements, and adjust their tactics in real time. During a hunt, the clan works as a cohesive unit, each member playing a role, some driving the prey, others waiting in ambush, all moving with a singular purpose. Even when a hunt fails, the hyena's resolve does not waver. Setbacks are met with renewed determination, each failure a lesson that sharpens their skills for the next attempt. In the face of overwhelming odds, the hyena's courage and tenacity shine through, a reminder that survival often favors those who refuse to yield. These nightly encounters, though harsh and unforgiving, are the heartbeat of the savannah. Each hunt, each escape, and each loss is a necessary part of the ecosystem's health and vitality. Predators like the hyena instinctively target the young, the old, or the infirm, those least likely to survive the rigors of the wild. By removing the weakest individuals, they prevent the spread of disease and ensure that only the strongest zebras pass on their genes to the next generation. The result is a population that is robust, resilient, and better equipped to face the challenges of an ever-changing environment. The legacy of survival is written in the strength of the foals, the vigilance of the mothers, and the leadership of the dominant stallions. Grazing herds trim the grasses, preventing overgrowth and promoting new growth. Their movements shape the landscape, creating a patchwork of habitats that support countless other species. The balance between grazers and the land is delicate. Too many animals, and the grasslands are stripped bare. Too few, and the ecosystem loses its vitality. Predators help maintain this equilibrium, ensuring that the cycle of life continues unbroken. Every hunt, whether it ends in triumph or defeat, is a crucial event in this grand design. The outcome ripples through the food chain, affecting not just predator and prey, but the entire community of life on the savannah. As dawn breaks and the golden light spills across the plains, the scars of the night's struggle begin to fade. The savannah awakens, bathed in the promise of a new day. For a brief moment, peace settles over the land. Grazers return to their feeding grounds, and predators retreat to the shadows, their bellies full or their hunger sharpened by the night's events. The hyena clan gathers at the entrance to their den, sharing warmth and companionship as they recover from the exertions of the hunt. The zebra herd resumes its grazing, the memory of loss mingling with the instinct to move forward, ever watchful, ever alert. The wounds of the night are absorbed into the collective memory of the herd, shaping their behavior and strengthening their resolve. As the sun arcs across the sky, the cycle of life continues, birth and death, struggle and triumph, woven together in an endless tapestry. The drama that unfolds here is raw and unsentimental, yet it is also breathtaking in its complexity and beauty. Every encounter, every decision, and every adaptation is a testament to the resilience of life. In this world, every creature is both hunter and hunted, each moment a test of skill, instinct, and willpower. The struggle for survival is unending, and the stakes could not be higher. This is the epic showdown of the African plains, a ceaseless contest where only the most adaptable endure, and where the unending cycle of the wild continues, day after day, beneath the boundless African sky. As the midday sun climbs higher and the savannah shimmers with heat, the scars of the previous night linger in subtle, often overlooked ways. Tracks wind through the dust, fresh hoofprints intermingled with the splayed impressions of padded paws, silent evidence of the relentless pursuit that played out under cover of darkness. Here, the interaction between hyena and zebra leaves more than physical marks. It shapes the very landscape and the behavior of all who inhabit it. In the hush of early afternoon, the zebra herd gathers at a waterhole, their senses still heightened from the nocturnal ordeal. The foals, born only weeks before, cluster close to their mothers, their movements cautious and deliberate. Each lesson learned from the night is passed down in the form of subtle cues, a flick of the ear, a sudden stillness, a warning snort. These rituals of vigilance are not instinct alone. They are the living inheritance of generations that survived by reading the language of the land. Nearby, the hyena clan lingers in the shade of a thorn tree, their bodies sprawled in a rare moment of repose. Yet even in rest, their ears twitch and their noses test the air, attuned to the faintest disturbance. The outcome of last night's hunt ripples through the group. An older matriarch licks her wounds, while the younger cubs squabble over the remnants of a shared meal. The social structure of the clan is reinforced with every interaction, the hierarchy reaffirmed in the aftermath of adversity. But the effects of this nightly contest extend far beyond predator and prey. Scavengers, jackals, vultures, and beetles move in to claim what is left behind, ensuring that nothing is wasted. The grasses where the chase thundered past are flattened, their seeds scattered, ready to take root when the next rains arrive. Even the soil itself is turned and aerated by the trampling of hooves and the digging of claws, creating micro-habitats for insects and nourishing the roots of new growth. The zebra's wariness and the hyena's cunning are mirrored in the behaviors of countless other creatures. Antelope adjust their migration routes, birds alter their nesting sites, and even the hidden reptiles shift their patterns to avoid the paths of danger. The savannah is not merely a backdrop, it is a living, breathing participant in the drama. Every interaction, every adaptation sends ripples outward, connecting species in a web of cause and effect that stretches across continents and generations. In these echoes that linger in the dust, the legacy of the night is preserved. The struggles and triumphs of hyena and zebra, played out under the stars, leave lasting imprints on the land, in the minds of the survivors, and in the very DNA of those yet to be born. The story continues, not only in the visible scars of the hunt, but in the invisible threads that bind each creature to the fate of the savannah itself. Here, In the interplay of instinct and adaptation, the true legacy of their interaction is written, enduring, evolving, and unbroken. Beneath the surface of each nightly chase and every dawn's uneasy peace, a subtler narrative unfolds, one of ecological balance maintained by the very interactions between predator and prey. Though the drama of pursuit and escape captures the eye, it is the aftermath that truly shapes the savanna's future. As hyenas and zebras carve their paths through the grasslands, they become unwitting engineers of biodiversity. The zebra, with its relentless grazing, sculpts the vegetation, trimming grasses to expose tender shoots. This constant cropping encourages new growth, creating a mosaic of habitats that support a diversity of herbivores, from the diminutive steenbok to the stately wildebeest. In the wake of their passage, insects thrive, attracting flocks of seed-eating birds and their predators in turn. Yet, it is the hyena's role that often goes unseen. As scavengers and hunters, hyenas are nature's sanitation crew, consuming carrion that would otherwise harbor disease. Their powerful jaws crack open bones, releasing nutrients inaccessible to other creatures. The remains left behind become vital resources for beetles, fungi, and a multitude of microorganisms, each playing its part in breaking down organic matter and returning it to the soil. Where hyenas hunt, they influence the very movements of their prey. Zebras, ever vigilant, shift their grazing grounds, preventing overuse of any single patch of land. This constant motion ensures that no area is exhausted, granting the grasses time to recover, a dynamic equilibrium maintained through the tension of survival. Even the waterholes, lifelines of the savanna, bear the signature of this balance. Zebras churn the muddy margins with their hooves, keeping the water accessible and aerated. Hyenas, drawn by the scent of potential prey or the promise of a drink, patrol these same shores, deterring other predators and shaping the patterns of visitation for countless species. In this intricate dance, each action, however small, reverberates through the ecosystem. The presence of hyenas keeps zebra populations in check, preventing overgrazing. In turn, zebras' movements dictate the foraging routes of the hyena clans. Their interplay weaves a tapestry of checks and balances, where abundance and scarcity ebb and flow in response to their choices. Thus, the savanna's resilience is not merely a product of chance, but of the constant, often invisible, negotiations between its inhabitants. The hyena and the zebra, locked in their ageless rivalry, are also partners in a grand design, maintaining the health, diversity, and vitality of their world. Here, in the quiet aftermath of the hunt and the gentle rustle of grazing, the true architects of balance go about their work, unaware that they are the stewards of an ancient and ever-renewing web of life. As dawn's first light stretches across the savanna, the enduring rivalry between hyena and zebra enters a new phase, one defined not by confrontation, but by the art of survival. Here, every moment is a test of evolutionary ingenuity, and each species draws upon a suite of finely honed adaptations to outlast the other. For the zebra, survival begins with vigilance. Their eyes, set wide upon their heads, grant a panoramic view, allowing them to detect the faintest flicker of movement in tall grass. Their ears, ever swiveling, capture distant rustles and the faint growl of a predator on the wind. But it is the black and white stripes, so iconic, that offer a subtler defense in the shimmering heat. They blur into a living mirage, confusing the vision of would-be attackers and masking individual shapes within the herd. Communication, too, plays a role. A flick of the tail, a snort, a sudden shift in body posture. Each signal ripples through the group, spreading alarm or reassurance in an instant. When danger draws near, zebras bunch tightly together, presenting a wall of flashing stripes that makes it difficult for predators to single out the weak or unwary. Strength lies in unity, and the herd's cohesion is its shield. Yet the hyena is a master of adaptation in its own right. its senses are attuned to opportunity. Acute hearing picks up the distant bray of a zebra separated from the herd, and a powerful sense of smell leads the way to hidden trails. Hyenas rely on strategy as much as strength. When the sun climbs and the grasses shimmer, they retreat to the shade, conserving energy for the cool hours of dusk and dawn. Their stamina is unmatched. They can pursue prey for kilometers, relying on relentless endurance rather than sudden bursts of speed. Within the clan, roles are clearly defined. Scouts fan out to track the herd's movements, while experienced hunters communicate through a chorus of whoops and cackles, coordinating their approach. When they strike, it is often with calculated precision, targeting the sick, the old, or the isolated. The hunt is rarely a matter of brute force. It is a contest of patience, observation, and timing. Even in retreat, both species reveal their adaptability. Zebras, knowing their pursuers' limits, may double back or take to rocky ground, where hooves grant better purchase than padded paws. Hyenas, undeterred by failed chases, turn their attention to other prey or scavenge the remains left by lions, ensuring that hunger never lingers for long. In the ever-changing landscape of the savannah, it is not the strongest who endure, but the most adaptable. Every day, zebra and hyena refine their tactics, learning, adjusting, surviving. Their strategies are written not only in muscle and bone, but in behavior, memory, and the silent wisdom of generations past. Here, adaptation is the ultimate weapon, and the only constant is change. As the dust of pursuit settles and the golden light of morning deepens, the savannah enters a quieter yet equally vital phase, the aftermath of the hunt. Where moments before the air was charged with tension and the thunder of hooves, now silence reigns, broken only by the distant calls of birds and the low hum of insects. The zebra herd, ever cautious, regroups on the horizon, their ranks thinned but cohesive, the memory of danger etched into each wary glance. On the ground where the chase ended, the remains of the hunt mark the beginning of a new order. For the hyena clan's success is not simply measured in the catch, but in how efficiently every scrap is used. Powerful jaws crunch through bone, extracting marrow rich in nutrients. Nothing is wasted. Hide, hooves, even teeth are ground down, feeding not just the hunters but the youngest cubs and the oldest matriarchs. This efficiency is essential. In the lean world of the savannah, survival rests on the ability to leave nothing behind. Yet the hyenas are not alone. The scent of opportunity travels swiftly on the wind, drawing a procession of scavengers to the feast. First to arrive are the white-backed vultures, their wings casting fleeting shadows as they spiral down from the thermals above. Their sharp beaks and keen eyesight make quick work of what the hyenas leave behind, stripping flesh with clinical precision. Close behind, marabou storks and tawny eagles descend, each claiming their share in the intricate hierarchy of the scavenger guild. Even the smallest residents of the savannah play a part. Beetles and ants swarm over what remains, breaking down sinew and cartilage, returning vital minerals to the soil. In time the bones will bleach and fragment, scattered by wind and rain, until all that is left is memory. This cycle is not one of waste but of renewal. The nutrients released by the fallen zebra feed the grasses, which in turn nourish the next generation of grazers. Predators and prey, scavengers and decomposers, all are linked in an unbroken chain, each playing a role in the health and balance of the ecosystem. In this realm, death is not an end, but a transformation. The savannah is shaped as much by what is lost as by what endures, and every hunt, every meal is a reminder that life here is sustained by 1,000 invisible threads. The aftermath of the hunt is a testament to nature's efficiency and resilience, a quiet, relentless renewal that ensures the cycle continues day after day, season after season. As the sun arcs across the endless sky, the savannah is transformed by the slow, inexorable rhythm of the seasons. With each passing month, subtle cues, barely perceptible to the human eye, herald profound changes for every creature that calls this grassland home. The dry season arrives with a relentless clarity. Clouds vanish and the earth bakes beneath the unfiltered sun. Grasses wither and waterholes shrink into muddy lifelines. For zebras, the world becomes a crucible of endurance. Their herds drift across great distances, following ancient migratory routes etched in memory and scent. Each dawn, they must weigh the risks of movement against the promise of water, their stripes shimmering in the heat haze as they traverse parched plains. Vigilance becomes a way of life. Every shadow could conceal a predator. Every step could mean salvation or peril. For hyenas, the dry season is a test of both patience and ingenuity. Scarcity sharpens their senses and compels their clans to adapt. They fan out across the landscape, their keen noses searching for the faintest trace of opportunity. An ailing zebra, the remains of a lion's kill, or a forgotten carcass hidden in the grass. The rigid hierarchy within the hyena clan becomes even more pronounced. Only the strongest and most cunning secure the choicest morsels, while the young and old rely on the leftovers. The clan's cohesion is its strength, allowing them to outlast rivals and endure the harshest days. Then, with the first distant rumble of thunder, the world is reborn. The wet season sweeps across the savannah in a surge of life. Rains fall in sweeping curtains, reviving the dormant earth. Grasses erupt in a riot of green and waterholes brim with promise. Zebras gather in vast numbers, their foals frolicking in the new grass, the urgency of survival momentarily eased. The abundance allows herds to linger, to rest, to renew their bonds. But with plenty comes new challenges. Predators, too, thrive in the lush season, hyenas included. Prey is more plentiful, but so is competition. The hyena clans grow bolder, launching coordinated hunts under the cover of tall grass. The young are trained in the ways of the chase, learning to read the shifting patterns of the herd and the subtle cues of their elders. Each hunt is a lesson, each success a building block in the clan's legacy. Season after season, the dance continues. The savannah never stands still. Its inhabitants are shaped by its cycles, adaptable, resilient, forever attuned to the changing winds and the promise of rain. In this vast and ancient theatre, survival is not a matter of strength alone, but of timing, learning, and the unbreakable will to endure. In the crucible of the savannah, extremes are not exceptions, they are the rule. Here, both zebra and hyena have evolved intricate adaptations, each honed over generations, to survive the oscillations between drought and abundance. For the zebra, drought is a season of scarcity and subtle transformation. Their bodies become models of efficiency. Kidneys concentrate urine, minimizing water loss, while their digestive systems extract maximum nutrients from withered, fibrous grasses. When waterholes dwindle, zebras rely on their acute sense of smell to detect moisture buried deep beneath cracked earth, sometimes digging with their hooves to create shallow wells. Their migratory instinct, encoded in memory and passed down through the herd, leads them along ancient routes to hidden springs and ephemeral streams, where survival hinges on timing and precision. During these lean months, zebras adjust their grazing patterns, favoring early morning and late evening when dew still clings to the grass, each droplet a lifeline. Social bonds tighten, mothers and foals remain close, and the herd's collective vigilance increases, as weakened individuals are most vulnerable to predation. In contrast, the wet season brings abundance, and with it, a new set of challenges. Zebras' coat patterns, once a tool for thermoregulation in the glare of the dry season, now serve as camouflage among the tall, emerald grasses. Foals born in this period benefit from nutrient-rich milk and rapid growth, their playful energy a testament to the temporary bounty. For the hyena, survival strategies are equally sophisticated. In drought, the clan's hierarchy becomes a survival mechanism. High-ranking females, larger and more dominant, monopolize scarce food, while the rest of the clan subsists on scraps. Their powerful jaws and stomach acid allow them to consume desiccated remains that other predators abandon. Hyenas expand their home range, traveling vast distances under the cover of darkness to scavenge or hunt weakened prey. Their remarkable stamina and acute night vision turn the dry season into an opportunity for those who can endure. When the rains return, hyenas shift tactics. Prey is plentiful, but so are competitors. The clan's cooperative hunting skills come to the fore: coordinated chases, silent flanking maneuvers, and seamless communication through whoops and cackles. Cubs born during abundance are nurtured in communal dens, learning from their elders the delicate balance of aggression and cooperation that defines hyena society. Both zebra and hyena possess a singular trait that ensures their survival flexibility. In a landscape where fortunes can shift with the wind, it is not the strongest who thrive, but those who can read the land, sense its subtle changes, and adapt again and again. On the savannah, mastery of extremes is not just an advantage, it is the only way forward. While the zebra and hyena command center stage in the savannah's eternal contest, theirs is not a duel fought in isolation. The fate of both species is intricately woven with the lives of many others, each animal a vital thread in the tapestry of survival. Consider the vigilant giraffe, towering above the grasslands. Its sweeping gaze is more than a sentinel for its own kind. It signals danger to all within sight. When a giraffe freezes, neck stretched and ears alert, zebras heed the warning, herding closer and scanning for lurking predators. The giraffe's presence can mean the difference between ambush and escape. At ground level, the warthog forages with head low and tail erect. Its acute sense of smell uncovers hidden water sources and tender shoots, inadvertently leading zebra to fresh grazing grounds during lean times. In turn, warthogs benefit from the herd's vigilance, darting for cover when zebras stampede at the hint of danger. The wildebeest, a companion in migration, amplifies the drama. Their vast numbers create confusion and opportunity. When hyenas launch an attack, the swirling mass of hooves and horns can scatter predators' focus, sometimes allowing zebras a narrow window to break free. Yet in the chaos, the weakest wildebeest may fall, offering hyenas an alternative quarry and momentarily easing the pressure on zebra herds. Birds, too, play their part. The oxpecker perches on zebra backs, plucking ticks and alerting its host with sharp calls when threats approach. Overhead, vultures circle, their keen eyesight betraying the aftermath of a hunt or the presence of a kill. Their arrival draws a crowd: jackals, marabou storks, and sometimes lions, all converging on the remains, shifting the balance of power and often forcing hyenas to defend their prize or retreat. Even the smallest creatures, like termites and dung beetles, hold influence. By breaking down dung and plant matter, they renew the soil, promoting the growth of grasses that sustain zebras and, by extension, all who depend on them, including hyenas. In this complex system, competition and cooperation blur. Each species, by pursuing its own survival, shapes the destinies of others. The savannah is not merely a battleground for predator and prey, but a living network, dynamic, interdependent, and ever-evolving. Here, the drama of hyena and zebra is enriched by the countless actors who share the stage, ensuring that every day brings new alliances, new rivalries, and new stories in the unending play of life. To truly understand the intricate ballet of life in the savannah, we must look beyond observation and delve into the science underpinning each behavior. Every action, whether a zebra's sudden flight, a hyena's patient pursuit, or the subtle alliances between species, has been honed by millennia of evolutionary pressure. Take, for example, the zebra's famed stripes. Far from mere decoration, these markings are the subject of ongoing scientific debate. Some studies suggest that stripes act as a deterrent against biting flies, disrupting the vision of insects such as tsetse flies and horseflies, which are vectors for deadly diseases. Other research posits that in the confusion of a chase, the stripes make it difficult for predators to single out an individual, especially when the herd moves as one. Hyenas, often misunderstood, are not just scavengers but highly efficient hunters. Their social structure, unique among carnivores, is matriarchal. Dominant females lead clans, and cooperation is key. Scientific observation reveals that their hunts are a product of complex communication and division of labor. Some hyenas chase, others flank, each role assigned by status and experience. Vocalizations, scent marking, and even postures convey intent and coordinate attacks, maximizing success rates. Interspecies interactions are equally grounded in biological imperatives. The giraffe's vigilance is not altruistic, but a mutualistic adaptation. By responding to the warning cues of other species, giraffes increase their own survival odds, and in turn, zebras and antelope benefit from the giraffe's elevated perspective. These signals, visual, auditory, and even chemical, form a shared language across species boundaries, a phenomenon termed eavesdropping in behavioral ecology. At the microscopic level, the ecosystem's stability is maintained by nutrient cycling. Termites and dung beetles, though small, are keystone decomposers. Their activity accelerates the breakdown of organic matter, enriching soils and facilitating the regrowth of grasses. Stable isotope analysis has traced the flow of nutrients from dung to grass, to zebra, and ultimately to hyena, revealing an invisible web of dependency. Predator-prey dynamics are governed by the principles of game theory. Zebras must balance the need to feed against the risk of predation, leading to adaptive behaviors such as forming large mixed-species herds or altering feeding times to avoid peak predator activity. Hyenas, in response, adapt their hunting strategies, switching between solo ambush and coordinated group hunts, depending on prey availability and competition. Recent advances in GPS tracking and remote camera technology have allowed scientists to map these interactions in unprecedented detail. Data shows that migration routes shift in response to rainfall, water availability, and predator density, underscoring a landscape in constant flux. In sum, the behaviors seen on the savannah are not random acts, but the result of evolutionary arms races, ecological feedback loops, and finely tuned adaptations. Each decision, every alliance and rivalry is a product of survival calculus, an ongoing experiment in which only the most adaptable thrive. It is this scientific tapestry, as much as the visible drama, that defines the true nature of life on the savannah. As dawn stretches golden fingers across the endless grasslands, the savannah stirs, alive with the timeless rhythm of predator and prey, growth and decay. Here, the cycle of life is neither cruel nor kind, but necessary, a perpetual motion that shapes every creature, blade of grass and grain of earth. The zebra herd grazes in the gentle light, wary yet resilient, their stripes blending with the shifting shadows. Nearby, a clan of hyenas returns to their den, bellies full, cubs tumbling in the dust. Tomorrow, the chase will begin anew. Overhead, vultures spiral, ever watchful, playing their part in returning life to the soil. In the undergrowth, termites and beetles labor unseen, dismantling what remains, sowing the seeds for fresh beginnings. Every heartbeat, every footfall, echoes with the wisdom of generations. The migration of herds, the rise and fall of waterholes, the dance of seasons. Each event is a thread woven into a tapestry that spans millennia. The savannah's inhabitants are both architects and inheritors of this legacy, their fates intertwined in an endless web of dependence and adaptation. Yet nothing here is static. Droughts test the limits of endurance, rains bring abundance and rebirth. The landscape itself is sculpted by the choices of its creatures. Grazers shape the grasslands, predators guide the movements of prey, and even the smallest insect leaves an indelible mark. This is a world of constant negotiation, where survival is earned not through strength alone, but through flexibility, ingenuity, and the silent cooperation of countless lives. In this grand arena, every death nourishes new life. and every struggle ensures the continuity of the whole. The Savannah's legacy is not written in stone, but in the ever-changing patterns of its inhabitants, a living testament to the power of adaptation, the necessity of balance, and the enduring beauty of nature's design. As the sun climbs higher and the day unfolds, the eternal pulse of the savannah endures. A reminder that here, in this vast and ancient land, the story of life is always being written, one moment, one breath at a time.